Hey everyone, I'm sorry if this doesn't come out perfect. It will probably be flawed in every different way and sense, and it feels a bit awkward speaking English in Sweden because you always feel judged by your friends if you do. It's just a bit embarrassing. But I really felt the need to get this off of my shoulder. And it has to do with the deliberate manipulation of our climate. They call it everything. They call it chemtrails. They call it geoengineering. They call it SRM, solar radiation management programs. They have a lot of names for the manipulation of our weather. And they really try to sell it off as they did with the GMOs. It's like, oh, we are developing this technology to save humanity from eventual comets or from global warming, which could be the new ice age, or from climate change, as if the weather or the climate ever stayed the same. Well, here is the thing. The biggest factor for climate change now is us. Man-made climate change is geoengineering. It is chemtrails. It's the HARP facilities, and it's not just HARP in Alaska, and they did close it down and try to sell it, and I don't know what's happening with the HARP facilities, but they are building a new facility in Ayskat 3D in Tromsø in Norway that is actually not far from where I live here in Sweden, in Gothenburg. And the thing that annoys me anyway is I didn't want to make a video about all the details, because it is really easy to get out there and start to read about the deliberate manipulation of the weather. Just Google HARP and then you just follow the rabbit hole down the trail and you will find all the information you need. You will also find a lot of ridiculous information about aliens and I don't know, whatever. I won't say it's ridiculous because I don't have a clue. I don't know if there are aliens out there or not, or blah blah. But I am pretty sure if there is an alien attack happening soon, it will be the government that is orchestrating it, because that is one of the uses for these wonderful technologies, where they spray nano aluminium particulate matters, barium and strontium and heavy metals and biological agents, and I don't even know what they spray. There's so much, you have to read up on it. But it's all about frequency weapons. Check out plasma, read up about plasma, read up on the conductivity of aluminium and how microwaves work. Like the microwave oven and your cell phones and the microwave towers. Microwaves are microwaves, just in different frequencies. So it is actually the same microwaves that you have in your microwave oven that are coming out of your cell phone. It's just not as high a frequency, but you should really try to, like, if you can, I shouldn't tell you what to do. Fuck it, don't listen to that. Do whatever you want, read up on it or don't, but please don't be on my case 24/7 like people are when I share articles on Facebook. Because for me, Facebook, my Facebook page, I just sit there and read articles. Like if you go to a library and you put up a batch of books and then you go through them, and some articles I just share them to read them, and I don't even have the time to read them before like 2 people are on my case about this is propaganda, why would they spray shit in our atmosphere, blah blah blah, as if I'm a fucking mind reader. There are a million different reasons to why weather manipulation or weather warfare or controlling the weather could be a really prosperous project to be involved in today. especially with all the money coming from the green movement and the environmental movement. And I will say this, I cannot take anybody who's standing up for the environment today seriously if they do not mention the geoengineering and the deliberate manipulation of our climate, aka chemtrails. If you're not talking about that, then you're not really standing up for the environment, because then you're like just scrapping the GMO and geoengineering agenda that's going on. It is a part of our reality. And the thing is with the people that are on my case about, oh, there's a flaw in this article, and it's usually men. It's usually men, and they'll be like cussing you out. Like, there is an error in this article, this is not correct, you should not be sharing this propaganda. They have no problem with listening to all the bullshit mainstream propaganda that's hitting them 24 fucking hours a day. But apparently when I share an article about chemtrails, then it's really important to just push me down in my place so that I know that I am making the world a worse place if I am talking about this subject at all, or trying to read an article about it. Well, guess what? There is a basic flaw in your perception of reality if you're not aware of the deliberate manipulation of the weather. So I'm really curious about two things. I will try to wrap it up. This got to be long, and I didn't prepare anything, so I feel rather stupid, but I'm really sorry. I'm sorry if this is if this offends anybody, or if you think I should have had more data, and I just feel fuck it, because that is actually, I will talk about that, and then the 2 second issues really fast. I won't waste your time more than necessary, but I really need to say this, because people are also on my case all the time about being emotional. Oh, you are too emotional, talking about love, talking about feelings, talking about how we should really try to reach a level of communications where we can disagree and still continue talking. Like that fascism is actually when everything is homogeneous, when there are no different perspectives, just one right way of thinking. Like everybody should accept homosexuality, and that is a law. Well, then you're living in fascism. You are no longer free. If you are not free to think what you want about the world, and to have your theories, and to make mistakes, I mean, God, is it that awful that people think and try to like have theories about stuff? Really? Compared to invading other countries and killing children? And we call that a mistake, and that's not important, let's not dig in the past, and la la la. But it is really important if I talk about stuff, or if I have feelings. Well, news flash for you, all you logical square men out there with your fucking cube heads. Contempt, fear, hate, looking down on other people, that is also emotions. You are also being dramatical, neurotic, and emotional. Just because I'm a woman and I talk about being sad, or like thinking that we should work on the basis of love and understanding, that doesn't make me any less rational than you are. On the contrary, if I'm not scared or like angry, then I would probably be more inclined to make a good assessment or judgment about what's happening in the world. And that brings me back to the subject of geoengineering, or chemtrails. And that is, did everybody see the X-Files show? I haven't seen it. I have seen parts of it. I saw it on YouTube, and I thought, oh, I'll look at it. And then on the X-Files they have this conspiracy theory about the global elite who are controlling and manipulating the weather to cause famine and drought and earthquakes and just like to take over, basically to take over the world and to take over the basic necessities of food and water. Food and water are like the oil of the 20th century. These wars that they are battling in now are all about controlling food and water, because yes, we do have an energy evolution. I don't want to call it evolution, it just makes me think about Darwin and fucking fascists. But I'll say this, there is changes are happening, and people are waking up to the fact that energy is all around us. I am personally all into the theories of the electric universe, and you should check them out, I think. Or this is, I recommend it anyway, not to tell you what to do. Oh my god. But the thing about the X-Files series, and about the new episodes that they did send, with where they actually have chemtrails, and they have like news flashes. It was like watching the news for once. I was like, oh, finally they're talking about reality, but this is X-Files. This is like conspiracy theory mecca. We love X-Files. It's like X-Files is more real than the world you read about in the regular newspapers, which are somehow not propaganda. I don't know why, but this is what I thought was really funny about the X-Files series, is then they have all these pictures of the skies, and they're totally like lined. They look like a mirror with cocaine lines on it, the skies today. It's like a kilt up there. It's like checkers. Lines everywhere, and fucking like particles and fume, and it looks awful. And they have these pictures on X-Files, and I was thinking like, wow, they didn't really need to Photoshop any of that. They just went outside and filmed our skies, because if you walk outside and you start looking up at the sky, you will see the X-Files sky. You know, the conspiracy theory chemtrail sky with the lines. You'll just have to walk out in reality, and you can watch those conspiracy theory skies all day long, walking to work or school or wherever you're going. So that just makes me wonder, if it's not real, then how come they don't need to like Photoshop it into X-Files? If chemtrails don't exist, how can they fucking make an episode of X-Files with chemtrails in it that they filmed outside in reality? How do you people make sense of this shit? Because for me, it doesn't make sense at all. It's just telling you like, ooh, you are so fooled. And that is the way you work. If you want to control people, then you want to fool them. You don't want to tell them one lie, because that is not an effective way of fooling people. What you want to do is you want to delude the truth with a million lies, so that people end up arguing and fighting about the small details. Is it that? Was it that? Is it barium? Is it strontium? Is it aluminium nanoparticles? Or what the fuck is it? And so then, instead of taking this issue and bringing it up for a real serious discussion about how we can end this insane science that is really killing off all life. Well, not all life. Well, like germs and mushrooms will probably think it's like, whoa, this is the place to be. But like for plants and for us, chemtrails or the shit that they are spraying in the sky, and the insane idea about blocking out the sun, the source of all life on this planet, to save life on this planet. It's like, oh my god. And the thing is, I do not believe that people are stupid. Scared, yes. We are scared to be alienated or cussed out on the streets. And trust me, I know why you're scared, because I do get cussed out. I mean, the love of my life cusses me out for being a wacky, stupid conspiracy theories because chemtrails don't exist, and only women who can't use their brains believe in such stuff, and blah 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 blah. I hear about that all the time, and I understand that it's scary putting yourself out there. But here's the thing, would you rather breathe and be socially alienated, or would you rather be socially accepted by people and fucking not be able to breathe the air that is outside and watch your children die slowly of D vitamin deficiencies and asthma and oh, this aluminium. Oh my god, like the Alzheimer's and the aluminium, I don't know if they named them almost the same so that you would know what they are doing with your brain, but it just boggles the mind. It does, really. And I don't know, I'm getting so tired of people attacking me like the biggest problem with the world today, seriously, is that I am trying to talk about or read about and learn about geoengineering, frequency weapons, plasma, and all that stuff. That is the problem with the world. Not that we're using it, not that we're spraying like even biological agents, I mean biological warfare agents to make people sick. I mean, they have done this. You just go out on the internet, just look it up, it's not hard. Weather warfare, just read about it. Don't just close off and deny it, because that won't help anybody. And I'm not on anybody's case about this because I'm trying to be right or uptight or know-it-all. I just really care that they are doing this. They are manipulating the weather. They have these like L-frequency boats out on the sea. They have HARP facilities, HARP-like facilities with ionospheric heaters that are shooting up ELF waves all over the world. It's not. It's like, oh my god. Yeah. And then I'll just throw this in there for the fun of it. What the heck? I might as well. I was curious about, I was watching the NASA's videos of the moon landings, and then this was so amazing to me because they actually do have footage where they claim, I'm not saying this, they claim that they are on the moon filming the astronauts from the moon, and in the background you can see the Earth, or the Earth, I'm sorry. and you have this ball there, it's floating around like a little bit slow in the background, and I'm just sitting there thinking, well, don't they say that the Earth is rotating around its axis? On its axis? So, if the Earth is rotating, why isn't the Earth rotating in the background when they're filming it? When they're supposedly on the moon filming Earth, it is not rotating, people. Check out the footage. How do they even explain that? Or how do they explain filming the moon, the moon lander taking off, and they have this camera on the moon, right? Filming it when it's leaving. They're like, we're leaving the moon now, we're back with the astronauts are going back home to Earth, and they're filming them. Yes, they are leaving the moon. And then like, well, what the fuck? Who's staying behind on the moon filming the astronauts taking off? And how do they get the footage to them? I mean, it is, what was it, 1969? I don't know. It's not like they could just send it. Yeah, we will just send this information down to them with the pictures, because oh shit, people, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really. Well, I'm tired of the bullying anyway. I really am, and I'm not really interested about discussing the discussion that is about whether this is real or not. That's not even a discussion. That's like you're just totally shut off to the reality around you. Why don't you just go outside and look at the sky, and then think about it. Think about water vapor. Yeah, really? Water vapor? Wow. Then read about how condensation trails are formed. And the real physics. Do not go out on the edited science, because the internet is full of the pseudo-scientific explanations, which they alter along the way, just like they do with all their other theories about gravity and whatever. They sort of adjust their theories and the science to the known physics out there. And that is really not science, people, at all. That is just BS right in your face, because you are being duped. You are being duped into believing that somehow if you just kill yourself, then everything would be great. That if we somehow just died because we as people, we are apparently just awful, then everything would be solved. And that is really selling genocide to the people from your superior psychopath rulers, telling you that we think it's a good idea if you just roll over and die. Well, thanks. I have been tempted to think the same thing about you, seeing as you are complete heartless assholes who don't mind raping like children or killing them. But I won't. I will not go down to that level. But what I will say is the world is not in danger because of like 0.01% of the world are psychopathic, elitist, royalist, Satanists. That is not the problem. The problem, good people, is that the rest of us are all busy pretending like reality isn't real, and the bullshit story that they're selling you on your newspaper and TV is. And you're like, yes, but you have to like check your information and la la la. And how do you check your fucking information? Do you like search it on WikiLeaks? And then you're like, oh yes, it says here it's debunked on WikiLeaks. Well, then I'm all done. They wouldn't lie to me. Well, they lied to you yesterday and the day before that and the year before that and the years before that, and they've been lying to you for fucking 4,000 years or longer. So if you're asking a liar to tell you the truth, what are you expecting? Really? It's like you're deluding yourself. It's not really somebody else who's deluding anyone. You just want to be fooled then. But that sort of makes me sad. The thing that really makes me sad, and the reason why I was crying before today and I felt like, fuck it, I'm done with this bullshit, I'll just like sit in a cave somewhere by myself, is because I really, really care about us, everything. I think it's so pointless that we would just like ruin it all. Why? Only total like, only Satanists think that way. That they will create a chaos just to have it. They're like, why would you kill children? What a stupid question. I enjoy it. It's like, well, people like that do exist. I know it's hard to fathom. I have a hard time grasping it too, but they're out there. I mean, just, you know, they're out there. So I'm thinking, if we could just put aside our differences about the small details, because there are errors in almost everything in life. You will always find errors. You will find them in yourself, outside yourself, in books, and even when they tell you this is like perfect, you can still find an error in it, and that's good. That's like what we should be doing. We should be helping each other, finding the errors. We should not be shaming other people or putting them in their place or telling them that they are not allowed to think or speak as they do. We should be encouraging each other to find the strength and the willpower to actually take care of all those problems. We do not need to lay down and die, and that will not help anybody except the psychopath, ruler, elitist. They will love that. That's like, wow, they made it so easy for us. No, what we need to do is like really be creative and loving, I think. And I know that people are like, love is bullshit. Fear, we love fear. And I'm like, well, I don't know if is it really so bad that the majority of us prefer to live life ruled by fear and not love? So I would say that the majority of the world will be with me on this issue. They would prefer to live in a world where love is like a basic feeling that we follow. And well, I'm not giving up on us, no way. And I also feel the tension. I'll be like standing in the kitchen and I'm like, hell, I can't deal with this anymore, I just want to kill myself. But then I'm like, never. Oh, no way. No, if at least just out of spite, stay alive one more day, and then you stay alive one more day, and you keep at it. And I am with you, all of you who are fighting out there. I know it's a struggle, I know it's hard. I'm not giving up on you. It doesn't matter. All your errors, all my errors, I don't give a fuck. We are all flawed, but I know that we can make anything happen. If we can create this hell that is happening outside in the world today, then we definitely have the possibility to create a fucking awesome life for all of us. We do not have to be living in fear and despair in a planet that is poisoned, and we are being poisoned, all out of the fear that eventually someday we will die. But listen, it's a part of life. It's scary as hell, and it's also a little bit exciting, isn't it? That something will happen that you know absolutely nothing about. It's almost like being born. It's not a big deal. We will all die. We are all scared of dying. We're scared to death of dying. I am. And it's okay. But don't let the psychopath, elitist rulers make you think that they are the controllers of life and death. They are not. We are all in... I hesitate to say control because I don't really believe in control. I believe in cooperation, communication, love, and creativity. And I really hope that we can get our shit together, because I'm feeling creative underneath this surface of despair inside. I feel that we can make things so much better if we want to, if we just like stop putting our focus and energy in all the wrong things, and if we stop believing that we can't change anything, then we can change everything. We can live life as we see fit, and that does not mean that we have to accept war, incest, or the poisoning of all life on earth. Well, lots of love and all my best of wishes, and I'm sorry that this turned out so long. Then you don't have to listen to it. Problem solved. Take good care, everyone. Bye bye.